Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On Another Line. It's been about 3 years since I've done a rod and reel arsenal video, and I wanted to make sure that you guys have an up-to-date idea of what I'm fishing with. I do have 3 rods that are in my boat. One of them is my Loomis Conquest. I'll add it to the list what I have down here, but I'm not going to show you the Conquest. I also have 2 X-Age rods that I'm not going to show you. They're in my boat also. But so I'm going to show you again what I have. First and foremost, I have a reel here. This is a Curado I-Series. This is going to go on an IMX Pro crankbait rod that I have in the mail right now. It should be coming this week. I'm hoping to get it before the Shimano Owners Tournament down in Lake Cumberland here in a week or so. So this is going on there. I just sold the rod that was attached to this reel to a buddy of mine. That's what afforded me to buy the new IMX Pro. So I do have this Curado I-Series. I said this was an E-Series in one of my previous videos and got thrown on the coals because of it. So I'm sorry, I have the Curado I-Series there that's going to be paired up with an IMX Pro crankbait rod. So I don't want this thing to be super long. I'm not going to show you all my rods. I'm going to show you like 12 or 13 of them here. I have 3 or 4 in my boat, but just for the sake of knowing what I'm fishing with this year and what I have, or what I can give you some advice about or opinions about, I'll list them all below, but here are some of the rods and reels that I plan on using for the 2020 fishing season. I don't want this thing to be super long, so I'm just going to go through each one. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. I'll be able to help you out as much as I can. First and foremost is a Loomis E6X 854C crankbait rod, which is a 7-foot medium heavy moderate fast action. This is paired with a Chronarch E-Series. This is an E7. I have this with 12-pound Sunline FC crank or Crank FC on here, and I do have a Spro rock crawler on here right now at this point. This rod is going to be replaced with the new crankbait rod, the IMX Pro crankbait rod I have. This rod will still be in my arsenal, but it will be my 1.5 and shallow diving crankbait rod from here on out. So again, Loomis E6X rod. This is a 845C crankbait rod. It's a 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast action. Again, Shimano Chronarch E-Series E7. Next up, Shimano Zodias 172M, 7'2", medium action, paired with another Chronarch, Shimano Chronarch E7. This has 12-pound Sunline FC sniper on it. This is a 7'2" medium action rod. You see I have a spinnerbait tied onto it right now. I do like throwing my spinnerbaits on an IMX rod I have here, but I was throwing this big old giant bladed bait down at Gunnersville the other day. I threw it on this rod. I have this paired up again with 12-pound Sunline FC sniper. This is a Shimano Zodias 172 medium, 7'2" medium action Shimano Zodias. Another thing I want to mention is that these rods are in no particular order. They're not from highest to lowest as far as how much they cost, how much I like them. I have them laid out here. And I want to show you the ones I'm fishing with. So next up to bat is going to be a Shimano Poison Adrena 173 medium heavy. 173 medium heavy. This is paired with my brand new, this is a Shimano Metanium HG, which is the core solid body, same as the Metanium. I'm sorry, this is the Metanium, same as the Bantam. It's a lot lighter of a reel than the Bantam. You're going to have the Magnum Light spool. I think it's the MGL3 spool, which is, man, this thing is awesome. But this is a 173 medium heavy Poison Adrena, 14-pound Sunline FC sniper. I'm using this for my Texas rig baits. You can see here I have a KVD rodent on here right now with a 3/16 ounce tungsten. This is a medium heavy action rod, 7'3" 7-foot 3-inch rod. Phenomenal combo right here. This is this is going to be hard to beat no matter what brand or what Shimano setup you have. Again, 7'3" medium heavy, brand new 2020 Metanium HG. Next up we have a Loomis IMX Pro. This is 906C CBR crankbait rod. This, again, is a 7'5" crankbait rod. Super long handle. I can't even show you the end of this because it's hitting my, actually I can, there you can see it. Super long handle. This thing is normally my really deep running crankbait rod, like a DT5, or I'm sorry, the 6XD, 5XD. Super awesome trap rod as well. This is paired with a Shimano Curado K with 15-pound Sunline Assassin on it. This is my absolute favorite crankbait rod that I own right now. Can't wait to get the other IMX crankbait rod, but this is my go-to for traps and the bigger style crankbaits. Guys, don't let this rod fool you. This thing performs really, really well for chatterbaits as well. Loomis, IMX Pro, 906C CBR, Curado K, 15-pound Sunline. Next on the list is one of my spinning setups. This is a Shimano Zodias 270 medium light paired with a Shimano Stradic CI4 Plus. It has, this is actually a 3000. All of my spinning rods are spinning reel setups are all mostly 3000 series. The reason is that you get more line. The body's the same size and the spool's bigger. It is a little higher gear ratio than a 2500, but all but one of my reels are 3000 series. I like having that extra line with the same body size. I don't do much of like power fishing with my spinning reel anyway, so it doesn't matter the gear ratio. This is a 3000 series Stradic CI4 Plus with again the 270 medium light. Has 30-pound Super Slick version 1 PowerPro on it, going to a I believe this is a 10-pound FC Sniper leader. I'm using this for throwing wacky rigs and sometimes, depending on where I'm at, throwing a shaky head as well. This used to be my drop shot rod, but I've swapped to another rod there for that. So this is a Shimano Zodias 270 medium light. This is a 7-foot medium light, again with a Stradic CI4 Plus, 3000, 30-pound PowerPro high vis yellow, which I assume I am under the impression they don't make anymore, and to a 10-pound Sunline FC Sniper leader. Has a Jackal tungsten wacky rig on it right now. Next up to bat is my Shimano Expride. This is a 172 medium heavy paired with a Chronarch, Shimano Chronarch E6, 12-pound Sunline FC Sniper. This is my jerkbait rod. This is a little long for most jerkbait rods. I like a jerkbait rod that's this long. Again, this is a 7-foot 2-inch medium heavy rod. Does make for an excellent jerkbait rod. Is a little long, you know, it's 7 foot 2 inches there. If you're not careful or working at your bait a lot, you're going to be hitting the water or your boat or whatever, but I'm used to it. This is a phenomenal jerkbait rod. I love it. It may not be for you guys, but this is a phenomenal rod altogether. Again, this is a Shimano Expride 172 medium heavy paired with a Shimano Chronarch E6 12-pound Sunline FC Sniper. My jerkbait rod. Moving right on down the line is another spinning rod combo that I'm throwing right now, which is a Shimano Zodias 273 medium heavy paired with a Shimano Stradic CI4 Plus 3000 series. Again, all my rods that except for one have 3000 series on there. Again, they do have a little higher gear ratio, but the body is the same size as the 2500, but the spool is bigger, so you get more line. It does have a little higher gear ratio than a 2500, but again, I don't do that much stuff with gear ratio as far as like cranking and stuff with these things, so it's not really going to matter for me. This is a 7-foot 3-inch medium heavy. It has Super 8 Slick V2 Onyx 30-pound test on it, going to a 10-pound FC Sniper leader. You can see I have a tube on here right now. This is the last time I used this was at St. Clair, but this is my go-to drop shot bait rod. I love this rod for a drop shot. It gives me that extra length. The tip is there. It does have a little bit of tip backbone that I can set the hook on those drop shot fish. This again is a 273 medium heavy, 7-foot 3-inch medium heavy paired with a Shimano Stradic CI4 Plus 3000. Flipping and pitching is one of the things that I have been getting into lately as far as trying to learn how to do it better. And I've caught some of the biggest fish that I've ever caught in my life on a jig recently, which is, you know, pretty crazy stuff. But my flipping and pitching scenario is going to be covered with this Loomis NRX 894C JWR, which is a 7-foot 4-inch heavy fast action paired with a Chronarch MGL. Going to be going with 16-pound Sunline FC Sniper on this thing. Tackle box jig tied on here. Phenomenal rod, guys. This is one of my absolute favorite rods to have in my hand at all times. I love the combination with the CI4 Plus Chronarch with the NRX light reel, super light rod. You're going to feel everything on the bottom, and this thing has massive amounts of backbone. and the tip is just right for me to throw, you know, jigs and bigger baits with. This is a Loomis NRX 894C JWR 7'4" heavy fast action paired with a Chronarch. This is a, I'm lying to you, I said this is a CI4 Plus. This is the MGL, not the CI4 Plus. I have it over here. This is a Chronarch MGL. Moving right along, we have a Shimano Poison Adrena 172 heavy with paired with a Chronarch Shimano, or a Shimano Curado K, 12-pound FC Sniper, Sunline. You can see I have the old mag draft on this thing. This is a Curado K. I absolutely love this thing. This is actually on an 8 gear ratio, which is not what I want. I'm actually going to swap this out to one of my slower gear ratios because I'm not throwing this big bait on here. I just put it all together the other day because I needed to put it on a different rod. So this is an 8 gear ratio. It's not going to be it's not what I'm going to be throwing this thing on. I use the 8 gear ratio for flipping and pitching so I can make more flips and pitches throughout the day. So I'm going to swap this out with another rod, the rod that I showed you guys a second ago, that, you know, has the other Curado K, which is a 6 gear ratio to throw this thing on. So again, this is a Shimano Poison Adrena 172 heavy Curado K. Again, this is the 8 series, which will be swapped over to my other Poison Adrena. 12-pound Sunline FC Sniper, big swim baits, bigger baits. This is a heavy action rod. Next up, Loomis NRX 853C JWR jig worm rod, 7'1" medium heavy extra fast paired with a Shimano Curado DC. This is in a 7.4 to 1 gear ratio. Again, digital control reel. See, I have it on you know, a swim bait here. This thing is what I throw my swim baits on 90% of the time. This is also my favorite spinnerbait rod, but right now I have it tied on my Zodias, but just for the fact that I was throwing this more than the spinnerbait the other day, I chose to put my swim bait on the Curado DC and this 853. You can actually wing, I mean, you can hurl a bait with this DC if you have it correctly set. This thing is phenomenal. I can't tell you how awesome they are unless you've had your hands on them. They're a total game changer in the world of bass fishing. Loomis NRX 853C JWR, 7'1", medium heavy extra fast, Shimano Curado DC. Alright, so the newest rod to my arsenal is going to be this Poison Adrena, which is the Poison Adrena 1611. So 1611, 6 foot 11 inch medium plus, paired with the Chronarch CI4 Plus. This is what I confused the MGL with, so I'm sorry about that. This is the Chronarch CI4 Plus. This thing does have a smaller spool than most Chronarch, so that's why that's on here. You can see I got a swim jig tied on it right now, and that was because I was fishing this swim jig through some open water. There wasn't a whole lot of cover and stuff. So this is also a phenomenal swim bait rod. Potentially what I will be using for smaller swim baits as we go on. This is a Poison Adrena 1611 medium plus, again with a Shimano Chronarch CI4 Plus. This actually, this has 12-pound Sunline FC Sniper spooled on it. One of my last two rods I'm going to talk to you guys about are spinning rods. Again, I have some other rods in my boat that I'm not going to talk to you about. Again, one of those is a a Loomis Conquest. It's in my boat. But this is a Loomis NRX 852S JWR. This has a Shimano Stradic 2500. This is the only 2500 series reel I own. This is actually one of the lower end Shimano reels that they made for a while. I put it on this reel just as a joke one day and fished it and loved it. That's why it's here. This will eventually be replaced with a new reel, probably a CI4 Plus, Stradic, or even the Stradic FL. It will be a good combination for this. You can see that I have this thing paired up with a Ned rig. This thing is phenomenal for that purpose. I have 30-pound Super Slick V1, the version 1, which is high-vis yellow. Again, I mentioned earlier they don't make it anymore. This has a 10-pound FC Sniper leader to it. Again, phenomenal for Ned rigs and smaller baits like that. It does have a lot of tip to the rod. There's plenty of backbone, but it is again, this is a 2-power rod, so you have to keep that in mind. This is a Loomis NRX 852S JWR, Stradic 2500. It's a 7'1" medium action, extra fast. last but certainly not least is a Shimano 273 Medium Light Plus paired with a Shimano Stradic CI4 Plus 3000 series, 30-pound Super 8 Slick V2 Onyx to a 8-pound FC Sniper leader. This is my shaky head rod, and it is phenomenal for that. You can throw some tubes on here if you wanted to. I would say smaller tubes, smaller jigs. You could even throw a crankbait on here if you wanted to. But again, this is a Shimano 273 Medium Light Plus paired with a Shimano Stradic CI4 Plus 3000 series reel. Again, the reason I choose the 3000 over the 2500 series is that the body is the same on a 2500 or a 3000, but the spool is bigger on a 3000. Gives you more line capacity. Also, again, the gear ratio on the 3000 is just a little bit higher, so you might want to keep that in mind if you're going to be cranking or anything with that. Me, all my spinning rods here, you know, they're going to be finesse for me. I'm not going to be worried about reeling bass too fast or too slow. It's just going to be for the retrieve or reeling fish in for me. A couple of things that I want to talk to you about with my rods and reels. I have Shimano neoprene reel sleeves for all of my reels. See, here's the bait casting side. So these are the small the small reel covers. If you have low profile bait covers like I do, I messed up and ordered the small thing, and that's what I need. They actually have a low profile one. That's what you need for all the new low profile reels. These things do work, but they're really gaudy and big on there. But these things are allowing me to keep my rods as, you know, good a shape as the day I buy them. These things are fairly cheap too, guys. I think they're like $6 at the tackle box for the actual neoprene casting. And also I have some rod sleeves. You know, I have a bunch of different brands. I'm looking at different brands right now to try to figure out which one I'm actually going to go with to buy for all of my stuff. I've been looking at the Upriver brand, and also I've right now have some really high-end Pro Series rod gloves that I really like. They're neoprene too. They're fairly expensive and decently heavy. So that is my rod setup for the 2020 fishing season. Again, I have 3 other rods in my boat. One of them is the Loomis Conquest that I have, as well as 2 X-Age rods that are there. I'll list those down below if you guys are interested. If you guys are have any questions or anything about the rods that I've shown you today, definitely drop a comment below, or hop over to Facebook and follow me there at On Another Line. I will definitely answer any question you have about the rods. I've been fishing most of these rods for a couple years now. Some of them are brand new, like the Poison Adrena are brand new to me, but I'll answer any question that I have, that you guys may have, to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody that does. So it's about fishing season, guys. If you stay safe from this crazy coronavirus stuff going on, and we'll see you out on the water. And if you can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on another.